What is up guys, this is Kai from KaiCreative and welcome to another filmmaking video. So what music should you choose for your video productions? A question that I often get asked by many different people looking to create various different types of video. Of course, there is no single piece of music that will work for every single video production that you make, so there will be a selection process. So what music sites do I personally use? Depending on the project, I will use the music bed, places like Audio Jungle, no copyright sounds on YouTube, and even in the past, I've used YouTube free music. So music bed is generally my go-to place for wedding video music. Audio Jungle is where I pick up a lot of my corporate pieces. No copyright sounds is what I like to use to create upbeat pieces like event openers. And YouTube free music I used to use back in the day, as it includes pieces from Incompetech, which I used to use heavily, but not so much anymore. So let's cover the big question. Should you pay for music or look for something for free? Now my advice here would be to choose a tune that fits. Free is generally not better than paid, but this is not always the case. For my documentary Memories of Dunoon, I used a lot of Joshua Woodward's tunes, and he offers free music on his website. Be warned that he has registered these, and although they're free to use in your productions, he will collect any money from YouTube's monetization program. Again, there are some really good free tracks out there on YouTube, but you hear them a lot on other people's YouTube videos. So I'd recommend you pay a little extra money and get some uniqueness into your videos. So what should you choose? What music should you choose? This depends on the speed, the tempo of the music and the piece you're creating, as well as the structure of the music. It's really important to have a tune that has peaks and dips, or dips and troughs. This is especially useful for wedding trailers. This is where peaks and dips are where the music builds to a certain point, flattens down again, then slowly builds up again. Those flattened, quieter areas are perfect for adding in narration, where you can weave in emotive, upbuilding comments from the groom, bride, or any other special people from the day. I also like to use this technique for building corporate promo videos where I want to introduce a bit of narration and make it more emotive. Now, if you are worried about the cost of music in your productions, you can always include these in your bill. For corporate videos, make sure that you include it into the final invoice, and for wedding videography, make sure it's included in the upfront cost. Now in the past, I did have one client that kept changing their mind on what music they wanted for their promotional material. And it cost me a lot of money and a lot of time to keep changing the music. Now the great thing about websites like Audio Jungle is that you can download the complete song with a watermark, which is basically a woman's voice saying
Audio Jungle
over the top of it. Once the client has approved the video production with the watermark, you can then purchase the track without the watermark, put it back in the video, and then put those costs back towards the client. So how do I actually choose my music? Sometimes while I'm editing, I'll just be sitting there listening to music bed or Audio Jungle tunes in the background, basically binge listening to tracks, till I find something that resonates with what I'm creating. There have been times where I've chosen a soundtrack, spent more than a few hours editing on top of it, and have decided to scrap it and start again with a new song. Now this can be a painful process, but if the song doesn't fit, then I'd recommend cutting your losses and starting again. Another thing to think about is how you introduce your music. Pay attention to your levels, especially if your music is going over some narration. You don't want the viewer to be struggling to hear spoken words over the music. This is something that I've been guilty of in the past, and it's generally down to perception of the individual and what you're listening through, like your headphones or through your PC or Mac speakers. To combat this, have a listen to your finished productions through both your speakers and your headphones and see if it's overpowering on either or both. Additionally, get someone else to listen to it and see what they think of the music levels. Now their opinion and your opinion might differ, so you might even need to call in a third person to help you verify. Now when narration comes up in your timeline, you might want to make it a point to lower the levels more on the background music to really help the speaker's voice pop out or stand out to grab the viewer's attention. So that's just a few things to think about when considering what music to choose for your video productions. As always guys, like this video if you like it, share it if you found it valuable. Don't forget to subscribe to KaiCreative if you haven't done so already. Additionally, if you'd like a PDF version of this video content and our other video content that you have on the channel, then you can go over to our website kaicreative.co.uk and download one from there. In the meantime guys, stay creative, imagine, implement and inspire, and I'll see you next time on KaiCreative.